Welcome to Technology and Education Today. I'm Richard Smith,
And I'm Caroline Crawford.
and today we're talking about MOOCs once again. But what we're really focusing on is a recent study that came out that reported on college presidents' opinions of MOOCs.
Of MOOCs and blended learning environments and what they consider to be vitally important over the next several years. What are they focusing upon, and what are their opinions?
And interestingly enough, we had all this publicity about MOOCs about a year ago. That's all you ever heard about. In fact, we did one or two shows on MOOCs, and at one point, just several months ago, it was like they were talking about the demise of colleges in favor of MOOCs.
Absolutely. If you can get the information for free, why would you go to college?
Yeah, well, I mean, it still may happen, but in the opinion of the presidents of colleges,
Of public as well as private, not-for-profit
yeah, there was
universities.
a study sponsored by Blackboard of all organizations, and we use their
Smart for them. They need to know what the next steps are going to be.
and we use Blackboard all the time, Blackboard and course sites. Right, they need to know which way the wind is blowing.
Right.
And interestingly enough, the college presidents did not seem to think that MOOCs, which are our massive open online courses, would have as big an effect on how they deliver instruction at the college level as blended learning.
Well, for professional development, it might be nice, but if you're framing it around a university-style structure, where's the viability of it? Seriously, how is it vital to the plan, the university focus? The presentation of knowledge and information within a global stratosphere? Yeah, absolutely. Let's share the information. Absolutely. When you're talking about degree plan focus and earning a degree and presenting to the world that, yes, I have earned this document, which means something, then how are MOOCs a vital component of that?
I don't know, but I think what you said about
Oh, somewhere in there it made sense? Awesome.
about transferring information, if that's simply all you want to do to a lot of people, then a MOOC is always a possibility, but there was never
Sure.
anything really
There are
that's
numerous
special.
ways throughout the internet that allow people to share information.
Right.
That's what the internet's about.
There was never anything all that special about the structure of a MOOC that would make it something terribly innovative, other than the fact that you were able to reach hundreds of thousands of students at the same time.
At will, yes.
And
People can choose to buy in.
And when these MOOCs started, the idea was that you would not charge the students anything. And then I think reality came
Started to
into
set
play.
in.
Wait a
So this is
second.
fun and games. This is a lot of work.
That's right. It is a lot of work. Somebody has to create the course, the online course. And if you create an online course which is poorly set up, poorly structured, you've got a problem.
Right.
If you have an instructor that you are videotaping, and a lot of these MOOCs were dependent upon videotaped lectures, and the people
Digital media type environments, right?
and the people who are delivering the lectures are not too interesting. You have a
An
problem.
engagement issue,
Well,
a retention issue.
You've created a problem, and if you de-emphasize the instructor, well, then you have a content problem, because somebody has got to create that MOOC, which is in essence an online course. Now, you've created online courses. I've created online courses. There's a lot of work that goes into creation of an online
Into framing
course.
the knowledge. But on top of that, there's another layer that MOOCs started realizing is a serious issue, and that's the community building and engagement of the learners with the instructor and the knowledge, and how do you work that in. And MOOCs, I would suggest, MOOCs were not set up to support that type of engagement effort. The whole community of learners, community of practice, whatever it might be, it was not framed with that thought process in mind to any significant extent, I would suggest. So that's where online courses and different types of blended learning environments may be more appropriate.
At the college level, what problem was the MOOC solving? what problem at the college level did the MOOC solve? Because everything you mentioned about student engagement and so on and so forth,
That's a lot of time and effort and expertise
Right.
in order to engage someone in the information in higher order thinking skill levels and analysis phase. Okay, you can memorize this. That's awesome, but how do you use the information in different ways, creative ways?
right, once a MOOC is set, it's very difficult to change that MOOC while the course is in progress or the MOOC is in progress.
Well,
Yes,
that's true of an online course too.
you can do it within discussions, but if you have 100,000 people, you've got to do a workaround for the discussion and figure out discussion leaders and so on and so forth. It becomes sort of an involved problem. But what problem was it solving for the university, the school that put them in? Was it
Was it a marketing
market?
effort?
Yes, a marketing thing. Yes, and in essence,
Was
I
it
would
more
say
of a holistic, we have this philosophical belief that it should be free for anyone who's interested?
Right.
Which, yeah, I happen to agree with that.
you can do that, and certainly, and then your university will go out of business because you have no money coming in from tuition. And as it turns out, it actually costs money to keep a university going.
Afloat.
You know, people have to be paid. So that really wasn't solving a problem. I think that's why the college presidents felt that the MOOCs were not going to have that big an influence, because when you come down to
For a
it,
short period of time, they had a significant influence.
Right.
But a flash in the pan and sustainable influence are two different things.
but when it comes down to it, if you have students on campus and professors on campus, those two groups can get together and communicate if you structure your school in such a way as to try to enhance that process.
And a lot of people want the face-to-face
Yes.
engagement. Understandably so.
People are social. They want to be with other people. Now, on the other hand, blended courses, what's it, so-called blended learning, and I prefer to say blended teaching, but who am I to, I'm in a minority here. But at any rate, you would use that technology to facilitate the processes that the university is engaged in, which means you would facilitate instruction in the classroom with technology. There may, if you wanted to give students certain numbers of resources that they could access quickly and at various times during the day without a problem, you could do that with technology. If you want to put their schedules, and people do, the syllabus, all the rest of these sort of things, that your paperwork types of things, you could do that with
Tell me
technology.
your opinion about this, because I consider blended learning to be kind of a flip teaching type idea, wherein the knowledge base and different types of evaluative communications are going on within the online environment, and enhancements are offered in the online environment. But the expectation is that the student, the learner, will obtain that information prior to coming to class, and then within the classroom environment, the instructor, one might suggest, is working under the expectation that the knowledge base has already been met. The students have done their job and learned the information, and now within the face-to-face type environment, you are engaged in higher order thinking skills, using that information,
Yes.
framing it more appropriately, talking about it with the students, and showing different aspects of how this information works in different
Well,
ways.
it's a technology enhancement, and I think you are correct. But that is
Depending upon how people
that's in
choose to
the
use
essence-
that type of environment.
That is in essence of a good college classroom and a good university. Now, I can remember when I was in college, we had something that was called a reading assignment.
Who knew?
Before each class began, the week before, we would be given assignments, and we were expected to come into class having read those assignments.
Remembered them. I always read them, I just didn't remember them.
And I can remember being in one seminar where somebody had obviously not read the assignment, and the professor stopped, and it was a graduate class too, and said, "You have not prepared. You have done what you need to do. When you come to this class, you need to come
Did you kick him out?
prepared." Just about came 1 inch from kicking that person out. At any rate, we have reached the end of yet another edition of Technology and Education today. It's been a wonderful discussion.
I always like hearing your opinions. It's interesting.
For Technology and Education today, I'm Richard Smith.
And I'm Caroline Crawford. Bye.